Almost every country in the world is in debt. The United States has surpassed $38 trillion in debt. The European Union is around $14 trillion. Japan is close to $9 trillion. Even oil-rich Saudi Arabia is in debt. Export giants like Germany and China are in debt too. So we need to stop and ask a simple question. If everyone is in debt, who do we owe? This is where things start to get interesting. This is not an economics lesson. This is a story where money, power, and history collide. And nothing is as simple as it seems. Debt is not just a negative balance. It is one of the foundations of the modern world. Wars, crises, rises, collapses. All of them stand on this invisible system of debt. And when you follow the trail of debt far enough, you arrive at an uncomfortable truth. The world is not really in debt to someone else. It is in debt to itself. But that does not mean everyone is equal in this system. Today, total global debt exceeds $315 trillion. That number is nearly 3 times the size of the global economy. So how did we get here? The answer is not credit cards or mobile banking. It begins centuries ago on the battlefield. In 1694, England was at war with France. Gold was running out. The treasury was empty. So the king turned to merchants. "Give me money now," he said, "and I will pay you interest with future tax revenues." To manage this system, the Bank of England was created. And for the first time in history, the state did something new. It spent money it did not yet have. In return, merchants received a promise issued by the state, a promise that could be bought and sold. This is how government bonds were born, the foundation of the modern financial system. Soon, everyone copied the model: France, the Netherlands, America. Debt was no longer a sign of failure, it became a sign of trust. If you could borrow, you were taken seriously. Empires once conquered land to extract gold. Today, government issue bonds to collect interest. The battlefield has changed. Wars are now fought on balance sheets. Fast forward to today. Every country is in debt. Every bank lends money. And every citizen, without realizing it, is both a debtor and a creditor. So, who is holding the other end of the rope? Let's start with the United States. Most of its $38 trillion debt is owed to itself. Banks, pension funds, investment funds, and even the Federal Reserve. Foreign holders account for roughly 1/3. Yes, China is among them, but only a small fraction of the total. So America's debt is largely owed to America. Taxes are paid. Interest flows into pension funds. Money circulates within the system. This isn't unique to the US. It's a global cycle. Countries hold each other's debt. The IMF, the World Bank, and central banks step in. It's a worldwide game. Everyone passes the debt to the next player. And there's only one rule. No one leaves the table. But the real power lies elsewhere. The markets, massive funds, banks, central banks. They decide who borrows cheaply and who struggles to survive. Democracy decides who governs. Markets decide who survives. Central banks sit at the heart of the system. When they buy bonds, they create new money. One entity's debt becomes another's asset. That's why there's no such thing as debt-free money. Every dollar in your hand represents a debt somewhere else. This system stands on trust. As long as people believe governments will pay the interest, it doesn't matter if the principal is never repaid. But when trust breaks, we've seen what happens in Greece, Argentina, Sri Lanka, and Venezuela. Interest rates spike, economies collapse, and the public always pays the price. So what happens next? New debt replaces the old. Because in the modern world, Debt is not meant to be repaid. It is meant to be passed on. Governments treat debt like a subscription, constantly renewed. Interest becomes the real product. And here's the ironic part. If major countries actually paid off their debt, the system would collapse. Because government bonds are the world's safest assets. Without them, the financial system cannot function. That's why no one wants to eliminate debt. They just want it to be sustainable. But in this system, interest flows upward. Taxes flow from below. So debt is not just a transfer between countries, but between people. Debtors and creditors are not enemies. They are two sides of the same engine. The real question is this: what happens if this engine stops? If this gave you a new way of looking at the world, subscribe. Truth has a bad habit. It always comes out eventually. Let's take a look at what's really going on together.